हफ्ते के बाद अच्छा थोड़ा सा अपना प्रोग्राम ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੇ ਜਾਤੀ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਂਝੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਪਰ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਿਲੇਟ ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਨਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਬੜੇ ਹੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਸਵਾਲ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਬੜੇ ਹੀ ਸਖਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਦਰ ਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਕਰ ਗਈਆਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸਦੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਅਜੇ ਤਾਈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਰਸਤੇ 'ਚ ਤੁਰੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਦੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਨੇਤਾ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਆਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭਲਾ
You could be a lotto millionaire like Terry. Get your ticket for tonight's draw. The National Lottery rules procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Hey, it's Matt. We need to talk. I think it's a place like that. You deserve to be this one. She knows what you really well. It's over. I'm sending you on call.
With over 5,500 dealers on our site, radio on your car has never felt so good. Get a valuation today at callwow.com. Terms and conditions apply. Check out PayPal. 3% cash back on my day out to the beach. I got cash back on a train ticket to Brighton. Ow, ow. And I used PayPal to buy the speaker. Get ready for some Brighton rock. Last month I got cash back on the sweet portable barbecue. How do you want your burger? Medium?
Back all summer. Sign up in the app. Check out PayPal. Promo ends 30th of September. Activate offer in the app and select a category each month. Max £50 per month. T's and C's apply.
Summer fashion announcement. Stripes are in, darling. Owens Florence. Crown made winner. Pastels and the colors too. Taste and choose. From England Florence pieces to Montreal moves and striking local lines. IKEA has numbers of new sound. And some Visit IKEA online or in store. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
And the 2025 Online Casino of the Year award goes to BetMGM.
That's up doing it Vegas, baby. Sign up now to BetMGM Casino. Play £10 and get 200 free spins. What?
extraordinary every night with Sky Essential TV for our new everyday price, £15 a month. Search Sky. Prices may change during new 24-month term. £21 a month after. Requires Sky Stream and broadband minimum speed 25 megabits per second. Includes selected Sky channels. 18 plus terms apply.
Talk Sport. New season. More high density. Super real. Kick by kick commentary from more leagues than ever. Here are the 500 games of live football. What a fantastic strike! A new sensational season starts this August on Talk Sport and Talk Sport 2.
It is Wednesday lunchtime. It's Jim White, Simon Jordan, Danny Murphy, 12:20. We're about to talk transfers. That means 3 becomes 4. Alex Kirk, chief football correspondent here at Talk Sport, joins us. Alex, good evening to you, mate. Let's carry on the conversation about the Palace duo. Eze and Jamie. Can you give us some good news? Give us some update of some sort, Mr. Crew. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, I've got to say, hats off to Ebery Chiesa for the way that he's conducting himself throughout this transfer saga, throughout the interest. Tottenham obviously played at the weekend. There was a suggestion on Saturday from sources close to Eze that maybe that wouldn't be the case. And there's every chance he plays for Palace in their conference play-off tomorrow night as well. The key here is that Palace want a replacement in the building before they will rather stamp Eze's move to Tottenham. It's our understanding yesterday on TalkSport that the fee between Spurs and Palace is basically agreed in principle for 55 to 60 million pounds, and that replacement could well be Bilal El-Khanous at Leicester. I'm told this morning there's a verbal agreement between those two clubs for a deal worth in excess of 30 million pounds to include add-ons. Palace, as I wrote on my notebook yesterday, is still showing interest in Southampton's Tyler Gibling, but El-Khanous much the cheaper of the two options. So I think the dominoes could start to fall into place here. El-Khanous to Selhurst Park, and then Ebery Chiesa to Tottenham.
What are you making of that, Danny? If Eze goes, in comes El-Khanous.
Not sure. Seen him a few times. Lively, tricky, but he scored a couple of goals. Granted, it was a poor side last year. He's only 21, so too harsh, but different profile. Much like that means he's low sense of gravity, he likes beating people, but I think Tyler Gibling would be if they could get him. That'd be a better. He's a
Simon, it's been about money for Palace, isn't it?
well, it's Tottenham's money. So not really, is it?
So, no, but Eze going from Palace, so I mean,
No, not
it's quite a fee, is it not?
Well, it's a decent fee, yeah, but it's reflective of the marketplace. He's a top player, and I would ideally like to see Palace pushing for as hard as they. I mean, they tried to get what they weren't going to sell Gay for anything less than 65, 70 million last summer. So clubs like Palace need to push very hard and make the clubs that take the advantage or take the benefit of all Palace's vision, develop with players, and then make them pay the price. What about Gay, Crookie?
I think that's more difficult, and this is a conundrum for Palace, because I was told a few weeks ago now when the window first opened that yes, they were willing to sacrifice one of Eze or Gay. Ideally, they didn't want to lose both in this window. Two key players in their FA Cup win last season, obviously two key players for the season ahead. I think they would have preferred to cash in on Gay because, of course, his contract is up at the end of next season. At the moment, he's not willing to entertain the idea of a new deal, and you can't really afford to lose a player of his quality on a free transfer. Liverpool, I think, is still sniffing away in the background, but I don't think they're going to pay the fee that Palace are currently asking for, north of £40 million. So this maybe becomes a game of poker in the final 11 days of the window. Do Liverpool up their offer to Palace, lower their asking price, or does Gay sit tight knowing that he'll be a very popular free agent for a lot of clubs this time next year?
Alex, do we have a latest on Chelsea's Club World Cup winner, Nicholas Jackson?
Well, this is certainly going to be one to keep an eye on between now and September the 1st, and we are into the home straight now. And what I think has been a brilliant transfer window, stories left, right and centre. Simon might disagree. We know he's got a bit of disdain for this period. But
Who cares what he thinks? Carry on, Alex.
Nicholas Jackson is certainly one to keep an eye on. Aston Villa and Unai Emery are keen. The issue here is, and again I wrote this a few weeks ago, £80 million the price that Chelsea are asking. I don't see anybody will pay that. I think clubs feel £60 million maybe is a more realistic price tag. In Villa's case, I think what they'd like to do is sign him on loan initially with an obligation to buy at the end of the season, because obviously helps in
Oh
terms
no,
of
is it
the
blocked again?
books in terms of where it would appear
They're
on the
always
balance
working
sheet
down this
with
road.
regards to
Sure, there's
PSR because
something
they
like
missed
that
out on the
there.
Champions
Right.
League
Got a
last
feeling.
season. Villa not in a great position in that respect. That's why they had to sell Jacob Ramsey.
And
Is there any way you could go up
you know,
there?
Newcastle desperate for a
Yeah, we're
striker,
still
we
going to
saw
come out
Brighton
Yeah,
just
that's
there,
what.
ain't ya?
Yeah,
their
that's it.
situation.
And
And I
it
think it's
can't be
better. I
helped.
like Jackson. I know he's a bit erratic at times, but he's a real threat.
This then, is he not?
You've got to get someone in if you want to sell it.
At 80 million?
Oh, but I'm saying at 60, would they be in?
Well, he's on their list, Danny, and he's been on their list for a few weeks now, but I'm not sure he's ever been top of the Newcastle list. But obviously, they've missed out on Ekitike, they've missed out on Sheshko, they're in for João Pedro and Brian and Bumo, so they're going down that list. What I was told yesterday is that they're confident they will recruit at least one forward between now and the end of the window. But I think in order for Alexander Isak to be allowed to go, I think he's resigning himself now to the fact that Newcastle really would not want to sell him in this window. They would have to bring in two strikers, and that looks unlikely.
What's the latest in Douglas Luiz? Is there one, Alex?
There
You
is,
have trouble
I was told
walking, do
yesterday
you?
talks
I was
with
thinking because I
Nottingham
could go
Forest and
right
Barnsley
there
obviously did really well.
and go
No,
up to
I've
the
got
bottom
to.
of Second Avenue.
The thing is, my mum's paying for the taxi.
Oh,
Sorry.
Hasn't worked out at all for him in Italy. He's keen to come back to English football. Everton and West Ham amongst the other clubs who've shown interest, but I think the relationship with Edu and Douglas Luiz, two fellow Brazilians, could be Nottingham Forest trump card. And do you know what? Having bemoaned their window only a couple of weeks ago, Nuno Espirito Santo, since they found out they were going to be Europa League contestants, I think we have to praise Evangelos Marinakis because he is putting his money where his mouth is, and I think he's building quite a competitive squad for Forest.
He gets his way, doesn't he?
Maranaki, he's just
Talking about it.
just brought in McAtee and Hutchinson, Amara Hutchinson, hasn't he? So he's got abundance of
Yeah. Do you like Douglas Luiz, Danny? You rate him?
clever player, intelligent footballer. Yeah, I think that'd be a cute bit of business. I mean, would he imagine being in a fortune?
You would think so, yeah. Manuel Akanji, let's finish with him. A Swiss defender, of course, at Man City. Is he off to Turkey?
Well, I'm trying to get a steer from Manchester City on this, but obviously Pep Guardiola told us all at the end of last season that he had too many players. He needed to reduce the squad because I think the quote he used to me was toxic. The dressing room can get toxic when players are in the squad but not necessarily part of the first 11 or even on the bench, as was the case with Jack Grealish at the end of last season. Obviously, Grealish has moved on. There is interest from Galatasaray in Akanji. I get the sense that if the numbers are right, then Manchester City would consider doing this deal.
Alex, thank you very much indeed. Akanji, remember him in the Euros with Switzerland. He had his moments, didn't he? Some of them not good.
Jimmy's been brilliant for City.
Right.
He's been incredible wherever he's played, especially with Trevor playing all over, full back, right back, left back. He was incredible. I think he's arguably one of their best ever signings for what they paid for him. I think they got him for 15 million. He's been a bedrock of that defence for the last few seasons. I'm amazed he's got
One of the best ever signings.
for value.
For value, right. Okay, so it seems from that, Eberechi Eze, though, inching ever closer to that move to Tottenham. As and when that happens, as and when any of these deals happen, we'll bring the news to you first and fastest right here on TalkSport. We're at 12:30.
White and Jordan on TalkSport with Selco. For the latest special offers, pick up this month's real deals in branch or view online at selcobw.com.
Join Midnight Casino and discover a whole new world! With hot slots, jackpots, live casino roulette, and blackjack at the ready. Come and play your way. Get 100 free spins when you spend £20 on eligible games. Search Midnight Casino or download the Midnight app today. Midnight. Casino done better. You decide. New customers only. Reward restrictions and T&Cs apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
There's a Peugeot SUV for everyone and every need.
Sport for choice. I like it.
From the compact 2008, the stylish 3008, to the roomy new 5008.
Weekend adventures, here we come.
Now available on 0% APR with a minimum 20%
Take
deposit.
forever.
Sounds like a 100% match.
Book a test
Long way
drive
to
on
go to get up to
Peugeot.co.uk.
High Street.
Offer ends 30th September 2025. Personal contract purchase subject to status and availability. T's and C's 18 plus. Excludes plug-in hybrids. Stellantis Financial Services.
Here comes Steve, with the satisfied smile of a man who's checking out at midday after your untamable bedhead hair. And if you look really close,
you can see that properly well-rested glow. Which can only mean one thing. Last night he slept at Premier Inn. Get better sleep for your money. Premier Inn. Rest easy. Breakfast subject to availability. T's and C's apply.
Checks, regulations, blah, 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 blah. But actually, these things matter. They keep us and those we care about safe. It's why Trusted Trader put every tradesperson that joins them through their 15-point assessment. Because your home and the people in it matter. Find your tried and true Trusted Trader professional at trustedtrader.com. When it matters, Trusted Trader.
Talk Sport News.
Hi, it's Emma Cohen with your headlines. At least a dozen councils across England are considering challenging asylum seekers being housed in hotels in their areas. It's after Epping Forest secured a temporary injunction to stop migrants staying at the protest-hit Bell Hotel. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage says it's just the beginning. The Security Minister Dan Jarvis says the best politicians try to bring people together.
Drive them apart. But the bigger problem is ensuring that we process asylum claims more quickly.
It's not looking good if you're on a variable mortgage. Inflation's gone up and it was higher than expected. The rate at which prices were rising in the shops was 3.8% in July, with airfares and food prices. Cuts to the cost of borrowing are now likely to be put on hold. Next to a cult in London, where hundreds of people gathered outside as kneecap rapper Liam O'Haney arrived to face a terror charge. He's accused of displaying a flag in support of Hezbollah at a gig last year. He's yet to enter a plea. And a battery-powered train has broken a world record for the longest distance travelled on a single charge.
We carry 6 batteries and we completed our 200 miles and world record with one of the 6 batteries still not being used.
That's tech developer for GWR Julian Fletcher, who told TalkSport the plan is to phase out their diesel-powered trains by